Step into the dark where the stories take flight. Whispers in the shadows, chill of the night. Tales of the haunted, secrets untold. A shiver down your spine as the legend unfolds. Ghostly gossips gather around, where the spirits speak without a sound. From the graveyard fall to the attic creaks, we're spilling the tea, hear the ghosts as they speak. So grab a candle and dim the light. The haunted hour begins tonight. Feel the tension rise, it's time to play. The spirits are near, they've got something to say. We'll uncover the truth and face our fear. 5, the spirits draw near. 4, shadows appear. Whispers we hear, chills to the bone, you're not alone. We'll uncover the truth and face our fear. 5, the spirits draw near. 4, shadows appear. Whispers we hear, chills to the bone, you're not alone.
Hello, everyone. Oh, whoa. The character just teleported for me. Hello, everybody. Just so you guys know, we are also on YouTube and, technically Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on Discord for Discord stage. Discord won't have any form of delay. So
It also won't have any video.
I mean, it can have cameras. See? Webcam. It just limits us to 150 viewers for there, but that's okay. I don't even know if it's smooth or if I broke everything. So, how you guys doing? Oh, hi. So, tonight is the start of Ghostly Gossips. And we will be talking about 4 places located nearby where I live in Portland. And yes, I don't care if you guys know where I live.
Doesn't help too much. There's a ton of people in Portland.
Yeah, that's fair. Yes. Yeah, we're talking about places that are haunted in real life, not in games like Phasmo. The locations that we're going to be talking about tonight is the Merchant Hotel, which is now known as the Old Town Pizza and Brewery. We got the White Eagle Saloon. I don't think it's got a business in there right now. Do you remember, Valdrin? I wasn't really paying attention at the that part of the That was where we had that crazy girl just mocking the tour guide.
Yeah. I think it was open as like an apartment complex.
Was it? I know.
Yeah.
Like, no, that was Eric. That was Erickson. No, yeah, White Eagle Saloon is McMiniman's. Then we've also got the Lone Fir Cemetery, where I actually have personal experience with. I used to do security for them.
For a cemetery?
Yeah, you used to have to kick everybody out and lock up the place. Then come back in the morning and open it up.
That's like a setup for a horror game.
It was... I've gotten mugged twice there, if that gives you any idea.
Well, I didn't expect that kind of horror.
Yeah. Yeah, not a safe place at night. And then the last place we're doing is Pittock Mansion. Yeah, I think that's about it. If we still have time left in there, we go to Reddit stories.
All right.
Why not?
Like Reddit stories about those places, or just spooky Reddit stories?
Spooky Reddit stories.
Spooky, scary, make me go,
So today I've got Sarah and Voldrin with me. I struggle with doing this kind of stuff alone. So
It'll go fine, don't you worry.
So first thing we should probably do is talk about the type of hauntings that can happen in places. Wouldn't you all agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, in the tour guide, they only gave us like 3 types, but there's actually more than 3. And the types that they gave us is, well, is residual hauntings, intellectual, and they called it celestial, but it's hauntings, which is like demonic and all that. Just demonic hauntings seem evil type thing.
Those are the fun ones.
Yes. But so residual hauntings, they're basically someone died there, it was a traumatic death, and they're just reliving their life, replaying a scene over and over and over. They have no awareness of their surroundings or who's in there. They're just stuck in the past. While intelligent hauntings, they can interact with people and all that. They can touch things, respond to questions. And if they choose not to respond, it's just they don't want to talk to you most of the time. From there, we go into poltergeist activity. These are also known as the noisy ghosts, who have the tendency of throwing objects, making knocking sounds, flickering the lights. They're some of the more common ones that people tend to run into. They're often linked to a specific person and frequently tend to be adolescents, since they feed off of emotions. And yeah, we all know how emotional adolescents can be.
Oh yeah. We were all there.
Then you got the shadow people. These are the dark figures that you can see out in the corner of your eyes or around the corner of a building. They're typically humanoid in shape, but they can be animals in other forms. They tend to invoke fear and an uneasy feeling. Usually you'll see these out in like forests or in very old buildings. Now we go to the celestial hauntings. These are non-human. They're strictly not human at all. They are very malevolent, or they're very intelligent type. They could be good or evil, but tend to be more on the evil side from what people experience.
Yeah, you normally don't see angels wanting to leave their place.
Yeah. you can usually get like a certain odor or a feeling of dread or a feeling of enlightenment if it's a good help. They are actually able to attack or protect you. You'll feel oppressed when you're in their presence for both sides, actually. And both sides can possess. Usually requires if someone does get possessed, requires intervention, like an expert, like exorcisms, stuff like that. You don't want to mess with this kind of stuff. Now, then you also got portal hauntings. These are things that they act like doorways. They will mimic a bunch of types of hauntings. Intelligent, poltergeist, shadow people. It's basically a link to the underworld or
overworld,
other dimensions, stuff like that. Very rare instances of this. You don't see these very often.
I imagine when you do, they can get out of hand, though.
They do tend to get very out of hand. There's even theories that the Bermuda Triangle's like a portal haunting type deal.
Didn't they find a new one, Alaskan Triangle or something like that?
Yes.
Because shit was happening up there, too.
Yes. Then you've got the crisis apparitions. These come into play when your life is in danger. There are lots of reported instances where people have survived because they heard somebody say, keep going, don't give up, don't move, stuff like that. Or someone told him to scream and yell. And they are usually often linked to loved ones or people who have died in the area and is trying to save others. Then you've got elemental hauntings. These based off of the elements. They're usually tied to ritualistic areas.
What, like earth, wind, water, and fire?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. They're very strong supernatural areas. These will be like, you'll find them over at ritual grounds, highly sacred areas. And I feel like the music is a little too loud. So.
Yeah, it could be a little quieter.
Yeah. Kind of hard with, there we go. But, yeah. So those are the types of hauntings. For tonight's, we're mostly gonna be dealing with, for the stories, residual, intellectual, poltergeist, shadow people.
The one specific to the locations we're looking at.
Yes, for what we're going to be dealing with in the stories that we're talking about tonight. I mean, I don't think demonic. Let me review the notes real quick over at Lone Fir S. But I'm pretty sure Lone Fir does not have demonic. No, it does not.
Yeah.
So
if we have time at the end, I mention a time where some family interacted with celestial ghosts.
Oh, I've got lots of ghost stories that I've gone through and what my family has gone through. My family even made the mistake of touching a Ouija board.
Yeah,
I like Luigi board.
I don't entirely believe in ghosts, but I will never touch a
Oh. Oh,
Me,
if we
myself,
have
I'm
time, I will gladly tell that story of where my mom, when she was a kid, with my aunt, when they decided to play with a Ouija board. It was
I'm
probably, they
pretty
said
hard
it's the
skeptic
most
myself.
scary night that they've ever had. But, so, we're going to start off first with the Merchant Hotel, also known as the Old Town Pizza and Brewery. This is located in Chinatown, Portland, Oregon, and also has some very strong connections with the Shanghai tunnels in Portland, Oregon. Those tunnels are going to pop up a lot while we go through Portland, Oregon. Places that are haunted in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, those tunnels are fucked up.
Yes. And I figured the last thing we talk about when we finish up with Portland, Oregon, will be the Shanghai tunnels. So you do have something to look forward to in the future when it comes to that. But when you go into the Old Town Pizza and Brewery, you can talk to the staff about any of this kind of stuff, and they will gladly tell stories of what they've experienced there and the history behind it.
Isn't the Merchant Hotel the one where like drinks would just start sliding across the tables and the bartenders were so blasé-faire about it, they just stop it and
Yes.
put it back? And it'd be
Yes.
like this repeated fucking thing.
Yes, and they'll even prove to you that the table is level by putting like a marble on the table, and the marble will not move. So people who tend to visit this place also will tend to, and this is an active like bar restaurant place. You can actually go there and visit them during open hours. Now, the exact location I did not remember to go and grab. I probably should have.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I probably should have done that. But visitors will often experience cold spots while they're in there. Phantom scents, they'll usually smell like floral perfume in the area. This is actually linked to a ghost that haunts this place, and would be an intelligent haunting ghost. You'll also hear disembodied voices and all that. Those will actually be the residual hauntings, with some intellectual. There's only one intellectual ghost that's actually there. The rest are residual. Objects moving. You'll see glasses and cutlery move on their own. And when you go into the basement, you'll get a very eerie feeling, as the basement is actually a part of the Shanghai tunnels.
Oh, really? And they let
Yeah.
people down there?
Well, so this section of the Shanghai tunnels is open up to the public. But it is also, they have also blocked off the areas to the rest of the tunnel.
Yeah. I heard like exploring the Shanghai tunnels proper is
Extremely
really
dangerous.
deadly.
Yes, it's very deadly, not because of the hauntings there or anything. It is a massive safety risk. There is no light in the Shanghai tunnels at all. You have
Also,
to bring your own. There is broken glass all over the place, and Lord knows what else is down there.
It was purposely trapped up so people couldn't escape it.
Yes. Now, in this bar, there is an elevator that you can actually go in, and you can have drinks while you're in there. This elevator is linked to a death of one of the... What were they considered? What were they called if they worked in a brothel? Was it a prostitute?
Yeah,
Or escort, or
You know what?
consort,
We're gonna
something
go
like
with escort because it sounds nicer.
Yeah.
There was an escort there named Nina. She is the one intelligent haunting that's there. When you're there, if you smell a floral scent, she is nearby. If you feel something touching you, it is most likely her touching you, as she was a very physical employee when she was working there. Uh, she is what unfortunately for her, she died at a fairly young by our standards, old by their standards. She died back in the I think it was like 1900s, early 1900s. It was like late 1800s, early 1900s.
Do you know the age she died at?
She was in her 40s when she died. No one knows the exact
Oh.
age.
Oh yeah, that's a good age for way back when.
Yeah, for way back when, being in your 40s, you were old. Now being in your 40s, you were young.
You're not even middle aged yet.
Yeah. So, but her body was found at the bottom of the elevator shaft that you can actually eat at. And no one knows how she died down there. They don't know if the owner killed her or if she fell down it. No one knows. All we know is she apparently loved the place enough that she continued to stay there and work. Oh, shoot. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, well, a lot of those places, when they were that old, were a lot better than you would expect if you witness places like that nowadays.
Yes. Yeah. No. This bar was actually a part of one of the bars that a lot of people would go missing in. And those people would later be found working on ships. Because all tied with the Shanghai tunnels. Because the Shanghai tunnels were used to kidnap and force people into indentured servitude to work on ships. Yeah.
Really just fucked up stuff.
Yeah. Portland has an extremely dark and corrupt history.
I think Port City has that.
Yeah, Portland more than others. Like, Portland, there was at one point labeled as the most dangerous city in America. Because the police were corrupt to the extreme. Like, they were owned by the business owners. People going missing, no one would search for them. They knew those people went down into the Shanghai tunnels. Once you go in, you're never coming back out alive. And if you do, you're in indentured servitude.
Which, indentured servitude is just a nice way of saying slavery.
Yes. Yeah. And if you sprained your ankle, you were dead. There was no ands, if, or buts. Broken limbs, they would kill you. You try to escape and get injured while escaping, you were dead. That's how bad Portland was.
It was just a not fun time.
Yeah.
Now,
it is a well-known fact that that indentured servants were actually treated like way worse than slaves were, even in slave-free times.
Yes, they were. Most of them were forced to work on ships. And the survival rate of being on a ship back then, with no skill at all on working on a ship, was extremely low.
It was like single-digit years, right?
Yes. But then again, it would take I think it would take 8 years to get to Shanghai, China, and back to Portland, Oregon. And about 10% of the ships would actually make it on the trip. Mostly because most of the ship staff like people working the ship, were people from the Shanghai tunnels, and they had zero experience working a ship. It wasn't it wasn't uncommon for captains to wake up, go to bed one day, and wake up when they were in Portland, Oregon, and their entire crew just vanish because they all fled and ran away. Actually, one of the hotels involves a captain that happened to, that we're going to be talking about later on.
And then it just start this horrible spiral where people would run away, so we need more people, so we're going to capture the people again, and they're going to run away. And, it's just...
and some of the people who ran away end up getting captured again, or people who actually bought their freedom end up getting captured again.
Spiral.
Yeah. This was one of the bars and brothels that would kidnap people, unfortunately. And that's you're going to be hearing a lot of disembodied voices down in the basement of people wanting to be free. You can bring a camera and you can capture ghost orbs while you're there, shadowy figures, even apparitions. If you're ever in the elevator shaft and you feel like someone putting their arms around you, that is most likely Nina. If she takes a liking to you, she is very physical.
She's touchy-feely.
Yeah. If she likes what you order for a drink, she is likely to steal it.
Hence earlier, the drink's just sliding away and the bartender's going, no.
Pretty much. Yeah, she will actually pull the drink away to get a sip of it. There has been reports where bartenders, right before they close up, clean up everything, make the bar look presentable as if it was closed down and whatnot, come back in the morning and everything be a mess, causing those bartenders to get into trouble. They eventually had to install video cameras, and whenever they come back and the bar is a mess, they have to now review those video footage to see if the bartender actually did their job or not. Because it's gotten that bad.
Stuff being weird, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so, if you guys ever want to go down, you want to try some Oregon's finest craft brews, because that's what they have there. They make their own alcohol. You want to try their pizza? And you happen to be in downtown Portland? Just stop by over there. They're very easy to look up on YouTube or on Google.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, won't be there for the beer.
I'm sure they have wine and all that too.
I'm the only one.
I don't like alcohol, period.
You know what? Fair enough.
I'm the only one in this group who really drinks. And even then, it's like once a month.
No, I still drink. I just don't like alcohol.
Bad.
Now let's go to the next one. This one is the White Eagle Saloon.
Actually, before we go to that one, I have a question.
Yes.
Did Nina like either of you when you went there?
We did not. We did not have the time, and when I was planning to go there to talk to the staff and all that and take pictures, that is when my work decided to be like, yeah, no, we're gonna work you a lot.
I just figured it's a relevant question.
It is. Yeah, I have not been able to visit any of these places except for Lone Fir, and that's just because Lone Fir was at one point one of my jobs. Now, I got a little bit more history on these next few, except for Lone Fir. I don't have a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of history behind cemeteries, as they're just a place where people get buried. But there are a lot of prominent figures in cemeteries that we can talk about. Now, for this one, This is the White Eagle Saloon that we're going to be talking about, also known as McMiniman's now. Very high scale restaurant now. Now, McMiniman's or White Eagle Saloon opened up in 1905 by a Polish immigrant. I don't think I can pronounce that last name. Their first names is William and Barney. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce their last names because
It's
oh
fine.
God,
People can find it out.
yeah, you can look it
They're
up
really
on
curious.
Google. But it served as a hub for the Polish community during those times. In 1906, it was a rumored meeting place for the Polish anarchists plotting against President Theodore Roosevelt. And the Secret Service investigated, but was not able to prove anything when it came to that. So that's a little... Oh, God. Hey, thank you for the sub! Oh, God. The amount of stuff.
It's the gold.
Thank you. Well, I don't know how long these items are going to keep on going. I forgot how many I set it to. So
It was a solid amount for a sub.
Yes. I mean, people have got to get their money's worth out of it.
Oh yeah.
Ah. All right. Now that it's done. So. Also, welcome to the stream, Portland SP supporter. Or Melody? I like it. I like that. I like that spelling.
Yeah, at the very least, this isn't one of those tragedy spellings.
Yeah. That's actually a nice spelling of Melody. I like that. But during the Prohibition era and the Shanghai Tunnel era, when it comes to the White Eagle Saloon, which is like 1920s was the Prohibition era, they used to use the tunnels to smuggle alcohol into the saloon. And they definitely had some rumors when it comes to connecting of a lot of missing people during that era. And we're talking a lot. Now, the type of hauntings around there mostly appear to be residual, not a whole lot of intellectual hauntings. Definitely poltergeist hauntings around these areas too. One of the ghosts that's there is named Rose. She was around during the 1920s. And she was a prostitute for them, or an escort. And she was murdered by her jealous lover. She tends to haunt 2 rooms where guests can actually, I think it's also now a place where you can actually stay the night, or an apartment. I do not remember. I want to say it's a hotel. But guests have reported hearing weeping and feeling cold touches in the night while they sleep. Now, there was also...
probably good.
Yeah. I don't know. If I wake up to someone touching me and their hands are cold and I'm asleep, I'm getting out.
Also, when you get out and they're just not there.
Exactly. I can handle the weeping. Like I'm used to hearing disembodied voices. I grew up in a haunted house. Now, Sam is another ghost that has been reported to be a ghost that haunts the place. And he was a housekeeper for them. Worked there for decades. His presence tends to be felt on the second floor, where doors and windows will be seen moving on their own, opening and closing on their own. The basement used to be a former opium den, and there have been reports of like the freezer doors opening, coins falling, and ghostly touches. And generally an all over eerie feeling when being in the basement.
Not a
Uh,
fun time.
yeah, no. Now, additional hauntings to this area also tend to include a female apparition, where ghosts have seen a female in old fashioned attire just wandering the halls. Staff have heard disembodied voices, heard conversations and laughters when the area is empty. Okay, be honest, if I heard that, I would probably leave. That would scare me. I'd be like, nope,
Oh,
and
fuck
out
out of
the
here.
door I go. While cold spots can be found randomly throughout the building, and they tend to. Oh wow, I did not do this part properly. Yeah, and they tend to be accompanied with an uneasy feeling when you feel the cold spots. Uh, when you go to the bar area of this place, ghostly figures can be seen moving between the bar and the men's restroom, while chairs and kitchen utensils tend to move on their own. There's a lot of poltergeist activity around here, if you haven't noticed.
Oh yeah.
People have reported flushing without explanation
Flush
around.
like the toilet.
Yeah, the toilet just flushing for no reason.
I want to say, did they have toilets back when like the hotel and all this haunting stuff first happened?
Yes, yes.
Ah, okay.
There
I
were
was
toilets
about
in
to
the
say
1920s, just not like today's toilets.
they're
Oh, yeah.
fascinated by this new technology of indoor plumbing.
Pretty sure indoor plumbing has been a thing since at least the 1800s.
Yes. It's just not as sophisticated as today's, but they did exist in the 1920s. So, if you guys are ever in Portland and near the downtown area, just stop by McMinimans. I'm not sure if they'll let you tour the place without being a guest, mostly because it is a place where people do go and stay the night to experience some of this stuff. But it never hurts to ask. McMiniman's food is really good. A little on the pricey side, but good. I have had their food before.
I'll have to try it out. There's so many places I want to eat at.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out if I ever visit.
Now, next up, we are going to talk about Fir Cemetery. I actually have experience with this place, as I used to be the one that walked around it, tell people, be like, hey guys, we're about to close this place down. I'm going to need
You're
you
the
guys to
security
start
guard.
heading out because I got to lock up the gate. And yeah, it was very difficult to make sure that everybody was out because it is a massive area. We're talking 30 acres of land. And it was first established in 1855. And
Oh, that's
it is,
old.
yeah, it is it's one of Portland's oldest continuously used cemetery. Yes, they still use it. They are still burying people there.
Well, if you got the space, use it.
Oh yeah. What people have mostly reported around the area is apparitions, unexplained sounds, and cold spots in certain areas. And these are going to be like cold spots where it's like, there shouldn't be a cold spot here. It's like 80 degrees outside. Why is it cold right here? I've experienced all of these. There are also a lot of key historical figures buried here. You got the co-founder of Portland buried here as Asa, A-S-A. How do you pronounce that?
I don't.
Probably.
Asa Lovejoy. She is one of
Asa.
the, yeah. She is a co-founder of Portland. and was instrumental in naming the city. You also got James C. Hawthorne, the founder of Oregon's first mental hospital there. Actually, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, mental hospitals have a reputation.
Mental hospitals have a really bad rep.
Yeah, only recently have they been getting better.
Then you got Haiti Redmondton. I do not know how to pronounce this word.
How do you spell it?
Suffragist. Is it suffragist?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's
Let's
suffragist.
go with suffragists.
It's an African American suffragist who championed women's voting rights. Then you got Henry Winhard, a pioneer brewer in the Pacific Northwest. Then you got Donald McLay, influential merchant that was. Oh, well, he's got a park named after him, McLay Park.
Oh, nice.
Park. Never been there.
It's probably just a patch of greenery.
Who knows? I don't really go out exploring in Portland a whole lot. Very difficult to get down there from where I live. Then you got Eliza Barchis, famous landscaper and painter for the Pacific Northwest. Actually, I think I've seen some of her paintings. Okay, sorry. I got Thomas J. Dreyer, the first editor of the Oregonian newspaper. And the Oregonian newspaper is like one of the largest newspapers for Oregon. Almost like the New York Times for New York.
Nice.
Actually, I think the New York Times is all over now. I've seen them out here in Washington. Then we got Henry Lane, who was a progressive mayor of Portland and U.S. senator back in the mid 1800s and early 1900s.
So a lot of important people.
Very much, yes. Now, and they do have events that do happen over at the cemetery. They got like twilight tours where you go in just before the place closes and tour the place, hoping to see some of the stuff, experience some of the haunting places. They have a cultural event for Day of the Dead that happens over there.
I didn't know they celebrated it that far north.
Yeah. Portland's got a pretty large Mexican community, actually.
Nice.
There's even like community projects that they do there where they go in and clean up some of the gravestones and do restoration and all that.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
Yeah. And paranormal investigators do go there every so often too. Although for the paranormal investigators, I think they have to get permission from the current owners, which I think right now is the city of Portland, to be able to be there after hours.
Permission when you do that kind of stuff. It's important to get permission when you do that kind of stuff.
Yes, some people do not.
Documenting a crime.
Yes, some people do not get permission when they go and visit haunted places when they really should. If you ever go and like you do any of like paranormal investigation of these areas, make sure you get permission first. Do not just go in without permission. The permission is very vital for these areas. Because one, there are historical locations. So make sure you get permission before doing it. Now we can go over. Let's go over some of the things that I've experienced. Now there
All
is
right.
a tomb over there, and I have seen shadowy figures over there. And when I go over, when I get close to there, they're gone. It's just like I'm just thinking, oh, it's
Ninja
probably some
vanish.
teenagers playing hide and seek with the security guard and all of that, only for no one to be there. There's been times where I've been in the back of the property and I heard laughing in the back corner. So I go over there, nobody there. It's like these all give me an eerie feeling while I'm walking through. Just
I'd imagine.
oh god, yeah. Like, but it was actually one of my most favorite properties to do because I had like 100 other properties to do, and it was actually one of my most favorite. Just going through, looking at all the tombstones that are there.
I imagine
Uh,
once you get past the spookiness of it all, it becomes a lot more relaxing.
it definitely does. Uh, do you have to be careful at night though when you go in there at night due to the high homeless population? It, I have been mugged there twice. I'm pretty sure the person was just trying to go to jail because I got my stuff back that same day. Because he just went outside and just sat there, waited for the police. So I'm just pretty sure, but it's still the fact that that happened is very dangerous.
Yeah, still concern for
Yes.
sure.
Uh, people who have been there have also experienced eerie feelings when they're there. Like, sometimes you get locked in there. The guard, you could be in an area where the guard can't see you, and you'll get locked in, and you'll have this eerie feeling while you're wandering there at night, waiting for the guard to get back to let you out. Uh, I don't know if that's just because it's a cemetery, or if it's just because there is something watching you, but it always feels like someone's watching you when you're there. When I was walking the place, I was constantly looking over my back because it felt like something was watching me. I've actually seen the Victorian dress girl. Uh,
Victorian dress, girl.
yeah, she was dressed in like old fashioned Victorian outfit. Found it weird. You get close and she just disappears. But she stands right next to her grave. But I couldn't read her grave because one, it's dark, and two, the grave was actually pretty worn out.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but she clearly doesn't want to leave the world yet.
I don't blame her. Imagine like just having no responsibilities and watching the world progress around you. Honestly,
Oh
I'd like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Me, I would find that boring.
Not me, but then again, I'm weird.
Just so you know, for Twitch and YouTube, for Twitch, you guys are about to get an ad soon. I unfortunately can't avoid these ads. Uh, the ad will be starting in like 5 minutes. It'll be 3 minutes of ads. Anyone with Twitch subs, Prime, or Turbo will not get ads, and I don't. If your ad blocker works, you won't get ads either. We're gonna finish up with this one, and then we're gonna move over to and then I'll wait till after the ads, and we'll do the next one. I might need to get more places to talk about.
We're blowing through
Uh,
them faster than we thought. We've been at it for an hour.
yeah, we have. Fir Cemetery's hours, you'll need to check locally, but it is from dawn till dusk is when it's open to the public. To figure out when dusk is, you need to check out your local apps before that. Generally, the rule of thumb is if the security guard shows up, it's time to go. And they'll usually show up after dusk.
This coming from a security guard, so
Yes. And please be respectful to the security guard. They're just doing their job. Can't stress that out enough.
They hate it
Yeah.
about as much as you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe even more.
So, would you guys like to visit any of these places?
The cemetery, yeah.
Yeah, I could actually. Yeah. When you come to visit, I could definitely take you to the cemetery. I remember how to get there still.
Oh, fun.
They sound like interesting places to visit.
Yeah, no, it's like honestly, all the haunted places are really interesting to visit. Shoot, like when we started the tour in Portland, that was actually one of the haunted locations. Although she didn't really go into much detail about it.
Yeah. Let's say I feel like we didn't get to it really.
No, it didn't. She didn't really talk a whole lot about it. It's like we were going through it, but oh yeah, if you there is an amazing tour group for it. What was it called again? It was like Portland.
I'd have to go relook at it.
Let me pull it up real quick.
It's been a few months. Yeah, she was extremely nice.
Yeah, she was like, it was like the best experience I had ever in Portland. She was very nice. Don't want. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Portland Ghost Tours is what it's called.
Really simple.
Yeah, very simple. They have many different types of stuff where they even have like a pub crawl and all that where you go to all the haunted pubs. And you would go to like the Merchant Hotel, the White Eagle Saloon.
Like actually walk and look at the places. And we got a little EMF reader too to see when spooky stuff was happening.
Yeah. And we found out that I'm apparently haunted.
Yes. I believe it.
It went like the moment I touched it, it went EMF 5.
Therapy is cryptid confirmed.
Yep. Therapy is cryptid. This is confirmed. Though, like, who knows what it could be, what caused that? Maybe I have something following me. Maybe it's a demon.
Hopefully not. I don't think you would like that.
Nah, I'd be perfectly fine with it if a demon was following me. I'd be wondering how it's dealing with me because holy fuck, I'm annoying as fuck.
It's a demon. I imagine, however annoying you are, hell's probably got to be worse.
You say that.
You think you're more annoying than hell?
I can be. Don't you find me annoying?
Only when you try to be.
You see? I'm always trying to be annoying. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot on this next one.
Sad. Well, the mystery is sometimes alluring to haunted places like this, you know?
I'm hoping. Nope, there. Now the ads are procced. Yeah, no, there's...
Are we gonna talk about the place while the ads are going, or are we gonna...
No, we're gonna wait till the ads wait until the ads are done.
Okay.
Give them... It's only 3 minutes of ads. I honestly should probably go use the bathroom and all that stuff. But I don't gotta go.
Bio break.
I also need to.
Put it on, be right back or something like that.
Hold on. Did I set that up yet? I did not.
Damn.
Like, it's set to the old setup. Nah, I don't gotta use the bathroom right now, anyways.
No, I have to. So I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, no, I am. I'm just happy, like, these are all places, like, people can actually go to explore.
Yeah. It sounds fun.
It's like, this one I want to go to. I actually know where it's located, because I've actually wound up there by accident at one point.
That'd to be spooky for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, more like because I was worried I was going to get in trouble because we were there after hours.
Oh, you were misbehaving.
No, more like I got lost trying to find a certain haunted place. And just happened to wind up in the back lawn of this place.
Oh, fun.
When we realized that we were like, yeah, no, we're not supposed to be here, we immediately left. So we had no ill intentions. We just wanted to go to scary, spooky places. We were actually hunting for Witch's Castle.
Isn't that one place you wanted to show me?
Yes. This was like during like the first couple years of moving into Portland. Or to near Portland, Oregon. Being a group
The
of
Portland
friends.
area.
Yeah. Being a group of friends decided after I got off of work, hey, let's go and explore and try to find Witch's Castle, and we got lost. We wound up like 10 miles away from my car.
10 miles? 10
And
miles is a long ass walk.
yeah, so we ended up walking back to my car, and we did find a tunnel that was kind of spooky to go through. Oh, welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
How you guys doing? Like, seriously. This next place that we're going to be talking about is called Pittock Mansion. And if I remember correctly, I think they actually, it's like a, hold on. Oh, well, if I could spell. Yeah, it's a
What would be the
museum.
fun in that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, no, you could actually go and visit this place. Although I think it may cost money to go and visit because it is a museum. And the primary people that haunt this place only live there for a very short time. We're talking like very, very short. So we're talking like this house was built they started building this house in 1909. And it was finished in 1914. And it was built by Henry and Georgina Pittock.
Pittock?
And yeah, Pittock Mansion is what it's called. It's massive. And it's now a historical museum. So you are able to go and visit it during open hours. Though the Pittocks moved in 1914. And well, they were actually pretty old for that time period. Like pretty like old for that time period.
And
You
it's
gotta
for that time period. So nowadays they're just fucking
no,
ancient.
no. One of them is still pretty old for this time period. So Georgina Pittock, which she was born in 1843, and she's the founder of the Portland Rose Society. She is known for her love of roses and charity work She passed away in 1918, 4 years after the house was built.
Which is a tragedy. She didn't get
Yeah.
to enjoy it very long.
Well, here's the thing. Her husband, Henry Pittock, he died at the age of 84. She was 64.
That's an uncomfortable
Yeah, that is a very
age
uncomfortable
difference.
age gap. But that was actually pretty common for that time.
Yeah,
Henry
I like it, though.
Pittock was the owner of the Oregonian newspaper. He was also one of the key figures in business and the real estate sector of Portland. He died in 1919, 5 years after the house was built. They weren't in that house for very long at all. And this house is being haunted by them.
Just want to enjoy it for longer.
Well, they have been. Now, these are mostly, from the looks of it, poltergeist activities. Residual, and a little bit of intellectual hauntings.
Just fun stuff all around,
Yeah.
really.
Now, another thing, ghosts can actually show up in multiple locations at once. So do keep that in mind. Like, they're not just tied to one property. They can show up in other locations. As we'll find out later on. So, but things that have been reported in this place is doors and windows opening and closing on their own. Doors and windows just being slammed without any explanation. People hearing footsteps behind them when they're walking through the property. That actually, oh god, just the thought of that scares me. Just having that in like
Yeah.
Phasmos. Ugh.
Imagine
Ooh.
real life.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You can always tell too. Like I went to a haunted house recently, and someone was dead silent behind me, but you could tell. Like you can feel
Yeah.
a presence behind you.
What were you gonna say, Sarah?
So I've been comparing so much of this just to the ghost games we play, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's like this, or like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, like you'll hear footsteps in the hallways where no one's been to or through at all. Like it's just you'll be somewhere else in the house and you'll hear footsteps and there's nobody there. It's like, oh, that one would scare me too. Oh my god. Having that happen in real life? Woo.
Footsteps are a common one.
Yeah. People have been reported smelling roses where there are no roses at all. Which would be Georgina, because she loved roses. She loved the smell of roses. Well, again, yeah, no, it just appearing out of thin air. Like, why am I smelling roses? There's no roses anywhere nearby. There have been cold spots and sudden temperature drops in certain parts of the house without any explanation. Like the heat's on, things are going, like place is warm, and then suddenly it gets cold. Rooms have even being as reported as low as like winter temperatures, even in the middle of summer.
Oh, cozy.
Yes. Lights have been seen flickering on and off, or just turning off. Man, I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're dealing with a mayor.
God damn it, Derby. Get the phasmophobia out of your head.
I couldn't help it.
We're talking about real life here.
Yeah, it's like you got lights misbehaving where you even where it's leaving like where they'll plug in like a new light and it won't work at all. They'll call an electrician, light won't work, and then suddenly it just starts working all of a sudden. Baffling electricians and everybody who's trying to figure it out. People have seen shadowy figures through the building. And let's be honest here. Shadowy figures in a building like that.
Always fun.
Oh god, yeah. Especially when they like peek their head out and have their hands on the corner. Ooh. I'd see if I saw that, I'd turn around, go, nope. Not going that way.
Hard nope.
It's like shadowy figures have been known to show up in the grand staircase. And the grand staircase is usually located right near the front door. You walk in, and then you'll see a giant staircase that will usually split off into 2 sections. Though that is a grand staircase. People have heard whispering voices while walking through. I know they have security guards there at night, and there have been reports of. I've heard some from some of my friends who have worked there, hearing whispers. What? And they go investigate it, and nobody's in the room. Every single time, they just turn around and they go back to the guard room and pretend they never heard it. And there have been times where, like, where they're in the bathroom or in the bedroom of the master bedroom or the servants' quarters, and they just hear eerie whispering. And I'm just thinking, if that was me, I'm gonna do one of 2 things. I'm gonna whisper back, see if they'll communicate with me, or I'm gonna leave. And it all depends on my mood.
Or the mood of the guy whispering at you.
Yeah. Maybe he's trying to get me in bed with him.
I don't know if ghosts care about that, but sure. You do you.
Who knows?
Well, no, we were just talking about Nina earlier.
Exactly. Now you see why? You never know with these ghosts. You never know what they want. Now, despite it being like only lived in for a short period of time by the original owners, people think it's haunted because of how much love they put into building this house. And that their emotions and the energy that they put in to this house is the reason why it's haunted. I mean, both of them have died in the house on top of that. Which usually tends to be like another big reason why a place tends to be haunted. But well, visiting over there, I mean, I say why not? I definitely want to go there and visit myself one of these days when I have the free time. Get some
We
pictures.
just talked about how badly it freaks you out, but visiting over there, why not?
You know what? We all know I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this be true.
How many times in Phasmo have I gone, I don't want to go back in, only for me to turn back around and go back in?
Enough times for me to just not believe you when you say it now.
I mean, come on. And at the top of that, come on, pictures, cool pictures. Maybe we can get some ghost orbs in those pictures. Maybe some of the shadowy figures.
I'll do dots.
Yeah, maybe we can get a ghost photo.
Yeah. Who knows?
So
Maybe we can
stupid.
treat this real life ghost hunting like Phasmophobia.
You know, in Phasmophobia, you don't take care of the ghost. You kind of just fuck off when you find out what type it is. And I'm assuming someone else will come in.
We don't know that. Maybe the family just has to live with it. Find a way to please it. And hopefully it won't kill them. I
I'm
mean, the
being
only reason
extremely
why we
dangerous.
get killed is because we try to piss it off.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
I
throwing.
would
How would you
I
feel
would
if someone threw salt in your house? Set up motion sensors that make
annoyed.
noise in your house,
Oh, I'd be annoyed.
or videotaping you without your permission. I'm pretty sure I'd want to kill somebody.
Murder is not recommended.
Look. Is it murder if you're a ghost, though?
Yes.
But they can't prosecute you for murder. You're already dead. What are they going to do? Send you to ghostly jail?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm in ghostly jail.
You're a dork.
I mean, that's completely what they do in Ghost Watchers. They send you to ghost jail.
This is true.
And they go, ooh, I'm going to ghostly jail.
I was a bad ghost. That's it. I know what we're gonna make.
That's it.
We're gonna make a sex toy line called Bad Ghost.
No.
What? We got Bad Dragon.
No.
It sounds like we should just partner with them.
I don't see
Oh
this
shoot!
ending
I
well.
say why
Don't
not?
do it.
I say why not? I'm sure they'll go for it. Maybe they'll teach us how they do it.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk about? We got plenty of time. Do you want to talk about your stuff? About what you've experienced?
Yeah. So I actually haven't experienced that much myself. But my sister has. It was like,
Okay.
and this experience is tinged by the faith of the LDS Church, specifically. So take that with a grain of salt on why it felt this way. I'm not saying that it was like it wasn't a ghostly experience. Something. I'm just more just saying like it was interpreted specifically this way that I'm telling because of the faith. So long ago when I was really young, I don't remember it because I was way too young. I just heard this story secondhand. My family, specifically me in a stroller, my mother pushing it, and my sister was there too with my dad, like there because it was during the day and he was working. We were at a like intersection, getting ready to cross the street. At the crossing. When my mother started pushing me forward, going off the sidewalk, and well, she got hit. It was a hit and run incident. But my sister, when it happened, would always say she felt a force make her not walk off the sidewalk. And when we were religious, we always attributed it to the Holy Ghost, aka one of the parts of the Trinity. That basically is the story. There's not much else.
Okay.
Obviously now, because we're no longer in faith, she kind of says, "Oh, it's just because I was an idiot and didn't start walking forward."
Hmm.
But I'm also just like, that doesn't really seem like an idiot moment. That seems like a you were really lucky moment.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, shoot, my family, lots of paranormal activity happens around us for some odd reason. We don't know why.
It's just fun.
You know what? I just think I just think the ghosts like us.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, shoot, let's see. When my mom was like in her late teens, like I want to say like she was like 17, her and her sisters pulled out a Ouija board. And this is the house that my mom currently lives in now, just so you guys know. And
Mhm.
anyone who knows the story about Ouija boards, when you use a Ouija board, nothing good ever comes from it. It summons something evil and bad. Now, during this time, my grandmother had a dog named Shasta. And, oh boy, I remember that dog because that dog was old when I was born. All the way, like, that dog ended up passing, like, at the ripe old age of, like, 23?
Oh, lived a good long life.
Oh, very good long life. Like, it didn't die of old age. We eventually had to put the dog down because it hit a point where it would go into our pond and get stuck in the pond. It couldn't get out of the pond. But it wanted to nip at the little water fountain thing and drink the water from that.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
So it lived a very long life. But when they were using this Ouija board, Shasta was sleeping in their bedroom. And they asked, "Is anybody here?" And it went, "Yes." Then they asked, "What is your name?" Now, my mom didn't remember the name of the ghost. It was like a long time ago when she told me this story. I was like 18 when she told me this story. But she goes, then they made the mistake of asking, "Can you prove that you're here?"
That was a mistake.
Yes.
Yes, you never want to ask a ghost to prove that it's there. Whatever it was, possessed Shasta.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. And this dog is a sweetheart by nature. Black Labrador, not known to have a violent tendency at all. Not know they're very playful breed of dog. And this dog, from a sleeping position, stands up and starts growling at them, which is abnormal for this dog. And then starts barking and snarling and begins to start chasing my mom and her sisters. Now, the next mistake they made is they never said goodbye to send this whatever it was away.
Oh, I thought the dog.
Now, it did leave the dog eventually.
Yeah, if not for the fact that the dog started chasing, I would have thought that the dog was growling at the ghost.
Yeah, no. Now, whatever this thing was ended up getting stuck in the basement of the house for some odd reason. We don't know why. And whenever you'd go down into the basement, it would feel like something's grabbing at your ankles.
Well, that had to be reassuring.
Oh God. My experience, I will never go into that basement of that house. I have had so many negative experiences in that basement. Like, we used to have a pool table down there.
Mhm.
I went down there once to go play pool, and a pool ball got flung right at me. I was the only one in the basement. You know how scary it is to have a pool ball flung at you at the age of 16?
Actually.
Good bit.
Unfortunately, I've had that experience from a person doing it.
It is scary. Like, whatever that thing was, hated my guts for some odd reason. No idea. It was only ever violent towards me. It ignored everybody else in the house. It would just grab at their feet at one walk when they were walking down the stairs. But for me, it would actively try to attack me. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be in that basement ever again. And I've stayed out of that basement ever since. That pool ball incident. Like, I can
Not a fun
handle
one.
boxes trying to fall on me. I can handle lights bursting on me. I can handle a door closing in my face. Yeah, there was one time I went to go walk into the basement. And we have a section of the basement where the door is at the bottom of the stairwell. I get to the door and the door slams right in my face. I turn around and I'm like, okay, I guess it doesn't want me down there.
I'm not going here today.
Tell my mom and go, yeah, the door just slammed in my face and I'm not willing to go down there. So if you want whatever you want from down there, you're getting it yourself. I got grounded that day.
You made a decision and you stuck by it.
I stuck by it. Yeah, my mom never believed me that there was something down there until she had a paranormal investigator come to the house. And on the video camera, you'll just watch this paranormal investigator, and it's a female paranormal investigator. You can watch as she's going down through the basement, and then you suddenly see handprints on her butt as her butt lifts up on camera. And she had no idea this happened.
It's just groping.
Yes. She had no idea, and when she saw it on video, she was too scared to come back to that house. I remember one time when I was like 6 years old. I couldn't fall asleep at night. It felt like something was watching me. So I open my eyes and I see a face of a baby staring at me. So I'm like, I must be dreaming. This must be a nightmare. I roll over to my other side and boom, another face of a baby staring at me. So I put the covers over my head and it took 3 hours for me to fall asleep after that.
I don't have so many experiences like that.
That only ever happened once. Never happened again.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Going to sleep would be so hard if you had to deal with that like every fucking night.
No. That only ever happened once, and I was in a bunk bed. I never slept on the top bunk ever again after that, though. I slept on the floor ever since. You know what? That might be why I like sleeping on the floor now.
It still weirds me out that you sleep just on the floor.
Yeah, another instance in that same bedroom. And now, just so you know, this is the bedroom where my mom used the Ouija board. On top of all that, every night at 3 a.m. in the morning, the closet door will rattle and shake, and it sounds like somebody is banging on the closet door.
Comforting.
Yeah, and it still happens till this day. We don't let the nephews sleep in that room because of it. They have to sleep in one of the smaller rooms because they can't fall asleep at all when they're in that room because they're scared of that. No one knows why it does that. Like, we know there's like a bunch of kids that were murdered in there. Like, this house has got a lot of dark history.
Sounds like.
Yeah. It was like a father locked his kids in there and then went down into the basement and hung himself. and then those kids ended up dying in the closet.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Fucking
Very
dark.
dark history. I eventually get moved out of that room, which I was so thankful for. It was getting a little annoying getting woken up at 3 a.m. in the morning. I was used to it. I was getting annoying. So we moved me into another room. Every night in this room, I'd feel one part of my bed just sink down. And it was always the side where the window was at. Later on, we found out that there used to be a female that lived there in that room, and her husband died in World War II. And she was waiting for her husband to come back. And she was a residual haunting for that house. Then I get moved back into the other room, and the thing that traumatized me the most ended up happening. I end up waking up one night and just see a shadowy figure that looked like it had a knife hovering right over me. And I ran downstairs screaming. That's how I knew it wasn't sleep paralysis. It was the fact that I got up and ran. And then I proceeded to hide under the table the rest of the night.
A whole night?
Mm-hmm. I refused to sleep in that room ever since that incident.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
So many freaking scary stuff in that house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then,
You're
heaven
not
forbid,
still
we
in
go
that
into
house,
the
are you?
barn that was on the property.
You're not still in that house, are you?
No. My mom still
Good.
lives in that
another
house.
state.
Yeah, it's in New York. And that house was built in the 1800s, just so you guys know. Like, the machine that was used to make the individual bricks for that house is still out in the woods. Like, the original owner hand built that house, made their own bricks for that house.
So, really just built from the ground up completely.
Yes. Including the barn was also built from the ground up, too. In the barn, like, you go through the barn, you'd see shadowy figures, you'd hear disembodied voices. Cold spots where there shouldn't be cold spots.
Your standard affair for hauntings.
Yeah. Very simplistic stuff compared to the house. One of the more favorite things that my mom felt and eventually ended up falling in love with was if there's children toys in the house, they would eventually get moved outside of the bedroom and then pushed down the stairs.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's fucking rude.
And yeah, no, and it would happen in the in-law suite. And what an in-law suite is it's a house attached to another house that was built for the in-laws to live in.
Houseception.
Yeah. And it would also happen in the in-law suite, though. It was I never personally experienced the toys falling down the stairs myself. I seem to have experienced the more traumatic stuff.
Which is unfortunate. I'd rather
Yeah.
take toys falling down the stairs than man with knife over my head.
I know! That's like, I never want to go through that again. And supposedly, from what I was told, apparently that ghost was just playing a prank. And I was like, that's a pretty cruel prank.
That's not a prank.
Yeah, that's
It's a
exactly.
fucking death threat.
But yeah, no, that house. Whew, I never like I go there like now when I go there, it doesn't seem as scary. The house
Still
seems a
pretty
lot
scary.
lighter, except for the basement. Whatever's still in the basement still hates my guts.
You gotta love it.
Yeah. But the rest of the house seems a lot lighter. Doesn't seem like the events still do happen, but it doesn't feel as eerie or whatnot. Except
Dangerous.
yeah. And we don't know if it's because my mom started going and putting crystals in certain parts of the house where all that stuff was going on. But I will say this, there were some good spirits in that house for sure. Because there was a time where my mom fell asleep with the candle still lit.
Then the kennel went out.
No. No, the house caught on fire.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it did catch on fire. But my mom felt something like something was jostling her awake, yelling, "Get up, your house is on fire."
Get the fuck up! Everything's on fire.
Yeah.
I live here too. Damn it.
Yeah. So my mom woke up. Her first instinct to do was go to the kitchen, grab a pot, fill it with water, throw it on the fire, go to the fish tank, fill it with fill the pot with water from the fish tank, throw it on the fire, then get us kids out of the house.
Amazing.
She put
I
out
say
the
with all
fire.
sarcasm.
When the fire department came, there was no fire for them to put out.
So that's fucking risky. You should just get the fuck out.
Agreed. It's not the only time we
Yeah.
had something catch on fire at the house, though.
Not the only time.
Our stove has caught fire.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, my mom forgot to air out the house after and clean up around the stove when she was using flour. And
Seems
the
like your
flour
mom forgets some important stuff.
she tends to. And the stove caught fire from the flour.
Oh boy.
Then my grandfather was mowing the lawn at one point, and the grass on the mower deck caught fire. Fire department had a field day with that one. It's like, and this is this all happened like it was like 1 year the house fire, the next year the kitchen fire, the next year the lawnmower fire.
It's an annual thing for everything to just ignite.
Well, after the lawnmower fire, that was it. There was no other fires ever since.
Good.
But yeah, no. I'm pretty sure. You know what? That might explain my bad luck. Now that I think of it.
Maybe.
Maybe there's something taking my good luck.
Maybe it's the ghost that's attached to you.
How do you do that? Get an exorcism?
I don't know. Shoe ghost, go away. Shoe.
Go, go, go away. Come back some other day.
But I think this is a good time to end. I do not want them to
Oh,
go
yeah.
through another
Ad break.
ad break. Next time I'll have more places to talk about. Work
this
kind
is
of
the first time. We're still learning here.
yeah, work kind of screwed me over when it came to a lot of my research. Just ended up working a lot of hours, so hopefully next time we'll have like I think 6 places would be good enough.
Yeah.
It ran out of places with roughly about 30 minutes before the 2-hour mark. So I will be streaming tonight. What are we gonna stream tonight?
I thought you said sketches was a possibility.
Yeah, it's either gonna be Sketchies or Phasmo. One of the two. You know what? We'll do Sketchies
We shall
tonight.
see.
We do have that haunted map, so kind of still haunted-ish. So it's not Halloween anymore.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope to see you guys all tonight. If not, guys have a wonderful time, and the next episode of Ghostly Gossips will be on the 30th. Yeah,
See
yeah.
you then.
So I will catch you guys then. Love you all. And I'll see you guys tonight.
Ciao, everybody.